Southern Maryland continues their trailblazing ways on the lacrosse field. Last season was the fellas' first time facing off in school history. And now this upcoming season, it'll be the ladies' turn. Hey, new head coach Joyce Arthur, how do you like making history at CSM?
I haven't really had a chance to really think about it just yet. My high school season just ended, so the more I am emailing girls and talking to them, it's starting to really sink in, and it gets me so excited. I sometimes can't sleep because I'm thinking about all the things I want to do and I can't wait to do and the trips I want to plan, and I have so much passion for lacrosse that I have so many things I want to accomplish.
You say tamada, I say regatta. We set sail on St. Mary's College, home of the Seahawks and host of the National Sailing Championships. Now, full disclosure, I can't swim, nor am I at ease in the presence of water. Nonetheless, I'm proud to report your boy wasn't injured filming day one of this week-long event. I can't say the same for UC Santa Barbara, however, as the Seahawks made quick work of them in round one of team racing. In sports, we often speak of home court or home field advantage. Subsequently, the Seahawks have home body of water advantage.
Yeah, I think there is an advantage of sailing here every day. We sail in all the different wind directions here, so we know a little bit about everything that other teams might not, because they only get to sail here for regattas a couple times a year.
I definitely think so. I mean, we sail here every day. We know the little tricks of every breeze direction, so I think we certainly have some things up our sleeve that other teams don't.
Back here now in the Channel 10 studios where I got a basketball Jones. The only person that can help me with it is my main man, Chris Harney, head coach, St. Mary's College basketball coach. Welcome back to the show.
Travis, thanks for having me back. Really enjoyed it here.
All right, NBA Finals set to start this week. Rematch. Spurs, Heat. Of course, the Heat looking to three-peat. Who do you like in this matchup?
I love the Spurs. I think it's a great matchup. I think anybody that follows basketball, whether you're an avid fan or just a part-time fan, will get a lot out of this series. Just seeing, you have two great programs. I would argue you have one of the best coaches in the game versus one of the best players in the game. With Greg Popovich for the Spurs, the head coach, and LeBron James, obviously one of the best players in the game, as we speak.
I agree with you. I actually thought the Spurs should have won last year. They had Game 6. They had that Game 1, Coach.
Yeah.
So to lose Game 6 and then subsequently Game 7, that's something that's really been on their mind all season. And this time they have home court advantage. Do you anticipate that helping, obviously, if it goes to a Game 7?
I do. I think last year, Ray Allen's shot was a dagger.
Yep.
I think that shot, if you recall, closing seconds, that really psychologically did some damage. It's hard to come back from that. I think the Spurs have shown a lot of intestinal fortitude, I guess is a good word. I just thought of that.
Yeah, that's impressive, Coach.
In coming all the way back this season and putting together the season that they have, and now with the home court advantage, I could see the series going to Game 7.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to be great entertainment. It's going to be fun to watch. But in the end, I see the Spurs prevailing. There's a number of different factors in my mind. I think Ginobili's playing great basketball right now.
Yes.
Last year he was kind of up and down, but through the playoffs this year he's been consistently great. The only question I would have for the Spurs really is Tony Parker's ankle.
Yeah.
But I think in this day and age with the medicine and the technology that they have available, they can turn around a turned ankle pretty quick, not like back when we played.
Right.
We'd have to, put a slab of cold meat over it.
I'm so old, we didn't even have ankles when I played. Ankles? Who? So for the record, we're both going Spurs in 7?
Yes.
Okay. Former Warrior head coach, now ESPN announcer, Mark Jackson, said last week that he thought LeBron James had become the greatest small forward of all time, surpassing Larry Legend, Larry Bird. Do you agree with that?
It's an interesting statement. I think, without a doubt, LeBron James is one of the best players in the game. I think with each season that goes by, I think he definitely makes a strong statement for that. I think, I think it's fair to say, let's see how this championship plays out. If he gets another ring, I would have to agree with that he has cemented himself as maybe the best small forward in the game. You know, it's an argument that older people are going to always side with Larry Bird, and younger guys are going to go with LeBron. But I feel kind of in the middle, and I'd have to say LeBron has really made a strong case, for that. I think that he's amazing, and if he's able to pull off a ring over the Spurs in this one, I would say, yeah, I agree with that statement.
I would agree with you. I think it's contingent on this series as well. But, man, just grit and toughness. Larry was the guy, and he could shoot the lights out. Coach, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
X's and O's. Not so much about this series, but in basketball in general. I'm watching these games from the NBA level to the college level to high school to AAU. What happened to the back-to-the-basket post players? Where are they? Are they extinct? What happened, Coach? It's all transition now.
That's another great question. I think, a lot of it, unfortunately, has to do with work ethic. And I don't mean to discredit younger players now, but a lot of them, when club coaches and AAU coaches come around and they sit down with them and say, hey, come play for me. And they don't want to hear go play the 5 or go be a center
right.
and hit people and rebound and.
Yeah, now centers are pulling up from 30.
Yeah, I also think the European game has really come to the U.S. I think in the NBA you see quite a bit. I mean, the Spurs are a good example of it. They have quite a few European players. Boris Diaw is probably a prime example of a center. I mean, he's 6'8", but he can shoot threes like a shooting guard. He definitely was an X factor in their series against the Thunder. But younger players today all want to be a guard. They all want to shoot the ball, and I really believe everything goes in cycles. And in my heart, I think that you'll start to see some low post players come back out, and coaches will take advantage of what's there and what's not. And it'll be interesting to see, even in this series, I think, to see whether the Spurs or the Heat try to go inside against each other. So, to answer your question, it has gone away, but I think it'll come back. Again, the easiest basket is a layup.
Yeah,
so.
It's starting to happen now a little bit too with Joel Embiid, maybe the number 1 pick from Kentucky, definitely a post player. Real quick, I'm up against the clock. Tell me about the offseason so far for you and the Seahawks. How's it going?
Well, that's a good question. Anybody that followed us this year knows we had a little bit of an off year. If 19-8 is off, it's off to me. We had some high expectations coming into the season, and we got hit with some various things, some injuries. We were without our starting center, and our backup center was injured before the season started. So not having that post player, as we kind of alluded to in the last question, I think was a factor for us. It was tough, and we lost some tough games. We lost 5 games out of our 8 losses to teams that went to the Sweet 16. So It was one of those years. But again, I put it on my being the head coach and someone that's running the program. I take responsibility for it, and I went out in the off season and really recruited some size. We have 2 6'8" freshmen coming in and a 6'9" freshman.
Well, that'll help.
Yeah. That'll fix things quick, and we're excited about the group coming in. We have a transfer who's coming from Navy, who's coming in as a real heralded defender. So I'm excited about the recruiting class. I'm excited about what we have back, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the hardwood. The off season for me is really an uncomfortable time because I feel most comfortable when I'm in the gym.
Right.
And so I'll be out. I'm recruiting now for class of 2015, and
nice.
Between doing that, and all the other things, it's got me busy. So there's no off season.
Hey, well, Coach, thanks for being comfortable on Southern Maryland Sports Journal.
Absolutely.
My basketball expert.
Favorite place to be.
Absolutely, and we'll get back together, too, sometime this offseason and break it all down as well.
It sounds
Enjoy
great.
the NBA Finals, and thank you for watching Southern Maryland Sports Journal with me, Travis Thomas, exclusively on MetroCast Channel 10.
Changing times brings changing needs. That's why, for your convenience, Booth's Heating and Air have extended their service hours to 10 hours a day, Monday through Saturday, at regular service rates. Through rigorous training classes and courteous business practices, Booth's technicians always go above and beyond to provide you with award-winning customer service that you can trust. Booth's Heating and Air, serving the Southern Maryland area since 1993.